Have you ever been looking for financial help and you see all those letters at the end of everybody's names and just wonder what the heck does all that mean? Well, today, stay tuned and I'm going to go through each of those designations that are most common and what exactly that means and what they're used for. So here's a list of the ones I'll be covering today. The first one I'll be starting off with is the Chartered Financial Analyst. So this is the CFA. So this is sponsored by the CFA Institute, and there's approximately 200,000 people with this designation. Now, it's not all that common when you're looking for a financial person to assist you because most of these folks work in institutional firms building portfolios. The initial requirements are a bachelor's degree, at least 4,000 professional hours, and they must pass 3 very rigorous tests in order to hold the CFA designation. These pass rates are pretty low, down 40% and even sometimes below that. And the reason some of those higher tests have higher pass rates, a lot of times it's because people give up after failing the first test. There is an annual professional conduct statement that they have to sign every year, as well as CE is recommended but not mandatory for these CFAs. Their focus, again, is in that institutional level investment. They're the ones that are working on managed funds where they research individual stocks and they build portfolios and fixed income for those types of funds. It is a very challenging accreditation to get, and it does take a lot of time in order to achieve it. The next one is your CPA, your Certified Public Accountant. These are sponsored by the AICPA as well as state boards. There's over 653,000 people that have this accreditation across the nation. So it is quite popular. And the initial requirements are at least 150 education hours. So consider that basically a bachelor's degree, as well as a 4-part examination. Generally, each of those parts has a passing rate around 50%. They also need to have 1 to 2 years of experience, and that depends on states. Most are 1-year experience, but a couple states do have a 2-year requirement. They do have an ongoing requirement of 40 continuing education hours every year. This is mostly to keep up with all those tax law changes that happen all the time. Now, their focus is going to be your accounting, your auditing, and tax preparation. So if you're looking for the premier person to give you tax advice, you're going to be looking for a CPA. They're allowed to give you tax advice. The next one is your CFP, your Certificate of Financial Planning. It's sponsored by the CFP board, and there's over 100,000 people with this designation. It requires a core course load of 6 classes, and those are basically equivalent to college level classes, and then 1 capstone project. It also requires a bachelor's degree as well, and a passing rate for the CFP is generally in that 60 to 65% range. You also need 6,000 hours, so roughly 3 years of experience, or you can go on to 4,000 if you're in an improved apprenticeship program where you have a mentor along the way for those 4,000 hours. There is a current ongoing continuing education requirement, and that's 30 hours every 2 years. Your CFPs are going to be your holistic financial planners. It is one of the most difficult ones to get as a financial planner, and that's generally the one that you're going to be looking for if you want more of that holistic financial planning. And they can give you all kinds of information as well as they can give you tax planning advice. I just can't give you tax advice. So they're not able to legally give you tax advice. That's why you hear a lot of us CFPs tell us, hey, this is something that you might want to consider. Go ahead and talk to your CPA, whoever does your taxes, for a follow-on opinion. Again, this is a really good one to be looking for if you're looking for a holistic financial planner. The Chartered Financial Consultant. This one is sponsored by the American College of Financial Services. There's approximately 40,000 holders. Now, there is a lot of overlap on the ChFC and the CFP. The initial requirements are very similar to that CFP. You have to go through all of those same courses, plus the capstone class, plus there's one more class on contemporary applications in financial planning. It also requires 3 years of experience and has a code of ethics associated with it as well. It also has the same recurring requirements of 30 hours every 2 years. The ChFC's focus is also on that holistic financial planning, but the biggest difference is for the ChFC, you don't have to have a bachelor's degree, and there is no test like there is in the CFP. The next one is the Accredited Financial Counselors. So this one is sponsored by the Association for Financial Counseling and Planning Education. There's approximately 3,000 folks that have this designation. And the initial requirements are, again, a course workload. These things are going to include personal finance, financial planning, financial counseling, and consumer sciences. It also requires 1,000 hours of experience. That's roughly a half a year. And the exam pass rate is a little bit higher in that 60 to 70% range. They also have that same requiring continuing education of 30 hours every 2 years. And their focus is on debt, budgeting, and financial counseling, a lot of behavioral coaching. And the biggest difference with these is there isn't a bachelor's degree requirement. It's much faster to obtain. You can obtain it in as little as 6 months. And again, it has that strong behavioral focus. An enrolled agent. So this is sponsored actually by the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. There's about 63,000 active enrolled agents. And in order to be an enrolled agent, you do have to pass 3 levels of testing. You have to be able to pass an IRS background check that also looks at how the individual has filed their taxes. But there is no formal degree or formal education requirements. There's a requirement of 72 continuing education requirements over a 3-year span. They also do include a minimum of 16 hours per year, though. And you have to renew this every 3 years with the IRS. And their focus is everything taxes. So tax preparation, tax planning, IRS representation, audits, all of that. And all of these enrolled agents are licensed by the federal government. There are no state EAs. So if you're just looking for somebody to do your taxes, an enrolled agent is a great place to look. All right, now we're going to dive into some of the more specialized accreditations. The first one I want to go over is the Military Qualified Financial Planner. This one is brand new, and it's sponsored by the Military Financial Readiness Objective. It's a 501c3 charity that was just started up, and they have only approximately 31 that are registered, but they do offer it every few months for the testing, so it is increasing in numbers. The initial requirements is you must hold a CFP, an AFC, a CFA, a ChFC, a CPA, or a law license. So you have to have some type of accreditation with an accrediting board. Then you must have a military affiliation. You must either have been a veteran or a spouse of a veteran. You also have to pass an MQFP test. This is very specific to the military, and it tests your military financial knowledge. Everybody also agrees to be a fee only and uphold the fiduciary standard. It does have an annual CE requirement of 4 hours. And in MQFPs, their primary focus is going to be helping veterans, active duty, and retirees with military-specific questions. They also go over a lot of benefits and transitions. The next one is the Certified Investment Managed Analyst. It's the CIMA, and it's sponsored by the Investments and Wealth Institute. There's only about 6,500 that have this accreditation across the nation, and the initial requirements are 3 years of experience, an executive education, and the exam pass rate is about 60%. You have a requirement of 40 CE hours every 2 years. And again, these ones are going to be mostly in your portfolio construction. You'll see these a lot in high net worth advisory firms where they have multiple folks doing multiple levels of planning for individuals, and they will be involved in the portfolio construction of their clients. CLU, a Certified Life Underwriter. So this is also sponsored by the American College of Financial Services, and there is over 113,000 people in the U.S. with this designation. You have to pass 5 core classes. Again, these are like college classes and some electives. You also have to pass a rigorous exam that has a passing rate anywhere from 70 to 85%. You have to do continuing education every 2 years, and their focus is going to be on life insurance, estate planning, and risk management. So more along the lines of your life insurance needs. It is one of the oldest designations out there. Now, the Retirement Income Certified Professional, that is also sponsored by the American College of Financial Services. There's only about 10,000 holders of this designation, and it does require 3 retirement income classes. Again, these are college level classes, and the pass rate is somewhere between 70 and 80%. They also have a continuing education requirement of 30 hours every 2 years. They're going to specialize, though, in retirement income planning. They're going to specialize in Social Security and your decumulation phases. So if you're looking for somebody that's specifically looking to package up the most optimal retirement income planning for you, you might want to look for this RICP designation, although again, it is a little bit uncommon. Well, I hope this video unscrambled that alphabet soup that financial designations have. I hope you learned something. And if you've got a question, go ahead and throw it down in the comment sections. I'll be glad to answer. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe for more videos just like it. Thank you. Information provided in this video is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. I am not your financial advisor, and you should consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. All investments involve risks, including the potential loss of principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. This video does not endorse any specific investment or strategy. By watching this video, you agree that I am not responsible for any financial outcomes based on the information provided.